Yo, what is up, guys? Today we're talking about a featherweight fight between Cub Swanson and Daniel Pineda at UFC 256, Figueiredo versus Moreno. This fight is gonna be very, very interesting. Cub Swanson 26-11. Daniel Pineda, I believe, is 27-13. When I saw the odds to this fight, I was a little bit confused, but not that confused. Daniel Pineda currently sitting around minus 150 as the slight favorite to win this fight. Cub Swanson sitting around plus 130 as the slight underdog. In my opinion, I actually think that this is a coin toss. I think this is a 50-50. In my opinion, I think the odds should be minus 110 for both fighters. But the odds they have it at right now is minus 150 for Daniel Pineda and plus 130 for Cub Swanson. So this could potentially be an underdog victory for Cub Swanson, as it is a very, very close fight in this featherweight division. They're both past the year 35 in their age. Cub Swanson just turned 37 years old about a month and a half ago. Daniel Pineda is 35 and a half years old, so they're both pretty similar ages. But Daniel Pineda definitely has a slight age advantage in this fight. They have a similar height at 5'8" tall for Cub Swanson and 5'7" tall for Daniel Pineda. And then they both have the same reach at 70 inches for Cub Swanson and Daniel Pineda. I'm just gonna say it's gonna be close. Cub Swanson, he's coming off of a nice win just at the beginning of the year, I believe, over Kron Gracie by unanimous decision. Before that, he was on a very, very bad losing streak to very, very good fighters like Brian Ortega, Frankie Edgar, Renato Moicano, who's also on this fight card, and then Shane Burgos. Daniel Pineda, he's on a pretty good win streak right now. I believe his last win coming against Herbert Burns inside the UFC. That was his first fight back inside the UFC. I believe since 2014. Back in 2014, he did not do good inside the UFC whatsoever, and it's good to see that once he joined back into the UFC as a really, really big underdog against Herbert Burns, he did very good, and he ended up getting that second round knockout. So this is going to be a good fight. Even if you look at the Tapology predictions, out of 1,646 votes, it's literally split right down the middle. 53% of the votes going for Cub Swanson to win the fight, mainly by unanimous decision. Some people do think he's going to get a knockout in this one. I think the knockout's a little bit of a stretch. And then 47% of the vote are going for Daniel Pineda to get the win, mainly by unanimous decision. And then it's sort of split between if he's going to get a knockout or a submission in this fight. Alright, so if you look at where these guys are actually ranked in this featherweight division, they're ranked pretty high. Daniel Pineda is currently ranked 32nd at featherweight worldwide, mainly due to his last win with Herbert Burns by second round TKO. Cub Swanson, he is currently ranked 18th at featherweight worldwide, mainly due to his last win against Kron Gracie by unanimous decision. And if you look at Cub Swanson's whole entire career, 26-11, more than 35 pro MMA fights. That is absolutely insane. He actually started his career back in 2014 with a loss. Came back with 2 wins, joined KOTC, got a first round knockout, a second round knockout, a first round knockout, got another win over Shannon Guthrie, and then another unanimous decision, a first round knockout, another win over Charles Kim, and then a first round guillotine choke submission in WEC. Followed by another unanimous decision win over Micah Miller. Lost his next fight to Jens Pulver by first round guillotine. Got another win over Donnie Waller, but got another win after that inside of WEC by unanimous decision. Lost his next fight to an absolute beast in this featherweight division in Jose Aldo, who was 15-1 at the time of their encounter. And it was a very, very devastating loss for Cub Swanson, as he ended up losing that fight in just 8 seconds of that very first round by flying knee KO. And then he did come back a couple of months later with a nice win over John Franchi by third round guillotine with literally 10 seconds left in that round. And then 2010 rolled around and he ended up fighting another UFC title challenger in Chad Mendes, who he ended up losing to by unanimous decision. At that time, Chad Mendes' wrestling was absolutely insane. So, I mean, he just got out-wrestled that whole entire fight. Lost that one, came back with a decision win over Makin Samirzi. Joined the UFC. That's when the UFC actually took over WEC, and when he joined the UFC, he actually started with a loss over Ricardo Lamas by second round arm triangle choke submission in a fight he was actually winning, but he did come back after that loss to Ricardo Lamas with a second round knockout win over George Roop, a second round knockout win over Ross Pearson, a first round knockout over Charles Oliveira, who is also on this fight card, then a unanimous decision win over Dustin Poirier, and a third round KO over Dennis Seaver, and a unanimous decision win over Jeremy Stevens. But in his next fight against Frankie Edgar in a main event at UFC Fight Night 57. Ended up getting that loss by 5th round neck crank with literally 4 seconds left in that very 5th round. I mean, absolutely insane ending to that fight. And then he ended up losing his next fight as well to another future featherweight champion in Max Holloway by 3rd round guillotine choke submission. He came back after that loss to Max Holloway with a unanimous decision win over Hakron Diaz and another unanimous decision, followed by yet another unanimous decision over Do Ho Choi, and then another unanimous decision. I know he's got 4 unanimous decision wins in a row, but that last one in 2017 was against Artem Lobov. But then he fought number 1 featherweight contender Brian Ortega, and ended up losing the fight by 2nd round guillotine. Ended up rematching Frankie Edgar in his next fight in 2018, but lost that one as well by unanimous decision that time, and then lost his next 2 as well. It was a really bad losing streak for Cub Swanson, as he ended up losing his next 2 fights as well by 1st round rear naked choke submission over Renato Moicano, and then had a very close split decision loss to Shane Burgos in his next fight. But obviously, as you guys probably know, at the end of 2019, he did come back with a nice win over undefeated at the time Kron Gracie by unanimous decision, and he looks to come back with a 2nd win in a row over Daniel Pineda in this fight. Alright guys, so Daniel Pineda, he has an even longer record at 27-13. This man has been fighting since 2017. He started with a 1st round rear naked choke submission, 1-2, lost 1 by 1st round rear naked choke submission, came back with 3 straight wins, lost 1, got 2 wins, lost 1, lost 1, lost 1, lost 1. Yeah, he lost 4 in a row back in 2009, but he did come back with 2 wins, lost 1 by 2nd round knee bar submission, joined Legacy FC, got 3 straight wins in a row, then a 3rd round rear naked choke submission win over Frank Gomez, followed by a spinning back fist KO in the 2nd round over Gilbert Jimenez, and a 1st round rear naked choke submission over Pat Schilling inside the UFC at UFC on Fox 1, followed by another 1st round triangle submission armbar over Mackenzie Merzi, but lost his next fight to Mike Brown and Antonio Carvalho by unanimous decision and 1st round knockout. Went on to the Ultimate Fighter 17 finale, where he got a 1st round Kimura submission win over Justin Lawrence, lost his next fight and his next fight after that to Diego Brandao and Robert Whiteford, both by unanimous decision, got cut from the UFC, joined back into Legacy FC, where he got 3 wins in a row by 1st round Kimura, 1st round triangle, and 3rd round Kimura, but lost his next fight to Emmanuel Sanchez inside of Bellator by split decision. Came back after that with a 3rd round rear naked choke submission over Mark Dickman. Lost his next fight inside of Bellator to Georgi Karakanyan by 2nd round TKO. But then came back with a 2nd round TKO win of his own inside the LFA over Josh Davila. And a 1st round triangle choke submission over Dimitri Ivy. And yet another win by 1st round guillotine over Elias Rodriguez. Followed by a 1st round KO over Ray Trujillo, which got him yet another shot inside the UFC. When he joined the UFC, he did amazing. He ended up fighting Herbert Burns. I believe he was like a 4-1 favorite. He was a huge underdog, actually, in that fight. I definitely had him losing that one when I saw this fight actually be booked. He was actually a 3-1 underdog, but he did come back in the 2nd round with literally 23 seconds in that 2nd round and get a TKO win over Herbert Burns in that fight. And now he looks to get his 2nd win inside the UFC in a row over Cub Swanson in this fight. Alright guys, so if you were paying attention to that little line of fights from Daniel Pineda, his whole entire career, every single one of those 27 wins, guess what guys? They have all been by finish. That's insane. 18 of his wins coming by submission, 9 of his wins coming by knockout. That is absolutely insane. He's lost 2 fights by knockout, 6 by submission, and then 5 fights by decision. Every single time his fights go all the way and it's a decision, he loses the fight. And every single time it doesn't go to decision, he wins the fight. So it's absolutely insane. So for that reason, I do think the main way Daniel Pineda is going to win this fight is to get a finish. Every single time the fight goes all the way, he loses. So he's going to want to get another finish. He already has 27 finishes in his very, very long pro MMA career, ranging back from, I believe, 2007. That's absolutely insane. Both of these fighters have absolutely insane amount of experience. Daniel Pineda, I think, is going to make a nice run inside the UFC right now, and I do think he's going to win this fight against Cub Swanson. I know I've been talking with some of you subscribers out there saying that this is a coin toss. I said that at the beginning beginning of the video. But really, Daniel Pineda, I have a feeling now that I'm looking at all of these statistics and how he finishes literally every single one of his fights. Just looking at how good he looked in his last fight with Herbert Burns at that big of an underdog, just TKOing him in that crucifix, just pounding away on Herbert Burns. I really think there's a possibility that Cub Swanson wins, mainly by decision. But Daniel Pineda, he is just going to be way too much for Cub Swanson to handle in this one. And I have Daniel Pineda winning this fight, probably by submission in the first or second round. Alright guys, thank you guys for watching that video. I'm really sad to say Cub Swanson is going to get another loss in this featherweight division. Most likely, it's going to be a close fight if the fight stays on the feet, but I really do think the fight's going to go on the ground at some point or another in this one, and I do think that's where Daniel Pineda is really going to shine in this fight, and that's why I have him getting a submission, probably in the first or second round. It's more likely he gets it in the second round. The first round is going to be a little bit tougher to get Cub Swanson to the ground, as he usually comes out strong with his striking in that first round, but the second round, that's where Daniel Pineda is going to do very, very good and get that submission. But what do you guys think is going to happen in this fight? Is Cub Swanson going to get a knockout? Is he going to get a submission? Is he going to get the win by unanimous decision? Or is Daniel Pineda going to absolutely dominate and get his first unanimous decision win? I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? Put that in the comment section below. Make sure to like this video if you do like the video, and subscribe to the channel. Turn on them post notifications so you don't miss the absolute best MMA content out there. It's been a very, very fun video to record. We still have 3 more fights on this fight card. I know it's Friday already, but I couldn't post Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, so I'm posting them all right now on Friday. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the amazing content coming at you every single day. Subscribe. I'm out of here.